What's up, y'all? That's Scorpio Moe. I'm C.Boogie, part of the Run That Back podcast, and today we are going to see who did it better. Today we have two contestants.
Well, kind of explain to them what we mean by who did it better.
You are correct. Who did it better? It's basically a competition to see who did the song better. For example, today we are going to be reviewing a song, All I Do Is Think of You, originally sang by the Jackson 5, covered by Troop, also covered by B5, but we won't count them today. So, it is just between the Jackson 5 and Troop.
That's basically in a nutshell. So what we're going to be doing is, we're going to be running this segment during the week, something short, something light. Two artists that did the same exact song. Whose version do you like better? We want you guys to get in the comments and give us who you think did a better version of the song, the original, and we're gonna do it with like samples as well. People that use the same samples, that kind of thing. So, this should be interesting. Like you said, we're gonna start with the song. All I Do Is Think of You, recorded initially by the Jackson 5s in 1975, then go back and go forward to 1990 when it was released again and covered by Troop, right? Yeah. Now, did what's the name, Chucky Booker produce that?
Yes, Chucky Booker.
I knew he was instrumental in introducing them to the song, because I did hear that story. Yeah. Okay.
So basically, starting out, just a real quick history of the song. It was in 1975. The song was written by Michael Lovesmith and Brian Holland, who's part of the famous songwriting team Dozier Holland.
That's a fact.
This was one of the Jacksons' last songs on their contract with Motown. Jermaine left not too long afterwards. So basically, in 75, the song peaked at number 50 on the Billboard Hot Soul Singles chart. 1990, the song debuted at number 1. Now, let me rephrase that. Not debuted at number 1, but it hit number 1 when Troop did it. It hit number 46 on the Billboard Top 100 when Troop did it in 1990. But
okay. I like that. So with that being said, we're just going to cut straight to it and give you the Jackson 5's version that came out in 1975. Let's go.
All right, y'all, that was the Jackson 5's version of All I Do Is Think About You. Now we are going to play Troop's version of All I Do Is Think About You, which was released in 1990.
Let's go. And that was Troop's version of All I Do Is Think. I love that song, man. Either version I love, but we're gonna get into the other stuff. But a great song again. It's kind of a tough one, but it's kind of not for me, in my opinion.
It ain't a tough one.
And the only reason I say that is because to beat the classic, it's like boxing, right?
To be the man, you gotta beat the man.
But not just like you really gotta beat him. Or you really gotta because obviously both versions are great, right?
Right.
But to
let's think about this though. You can't deny. First off, you're going up against Mike. You're going up against the prime Mike. A young
prodigy Mike. This is like...
This is, like you said, prodigy. This is genius level Mike. This is crisp vocals of a young Mike.
This is nigga nose Mike. So, all the vocal ability and young strengths and souls
coming out the nose. He's breathing in through the nose, coming out through the vocals. All the air is circulating. Nose, mouth. You didn't get that later before.
This is probably, I'm just getting some pussy, Mike.
I don't know if Joe let him. I don't know. If Joe let him.
I heard
let him
stories.
sniff.
They snuck around and got what they needed to get.
Well,
So
at least
I heard.
we know he sniffed it. I'm just saying because of the nose.
But so let's just get into it. Who do you have on who did it better?
Troop. No question. Troop.
And why do you say Troop?
Because now, mind you, I'm going to take into account these are two different generations. This is 70s, Michael, but Troop's song from the beginning, the pianos, it's lush. It starts out lush and it's very calm. It's like a storybook. It starts out calm, almost like a roller coaster degree. It's very calm. It rises in the crescendo. You got the bridge. You got them doing runs. Then you got the bridge, and then it like opens up, and it just goes. There's like no coming down from it. It's like you're on that ride, and Troop. This is probably one of their distinctive, noticeable, like clutch songs that they are known for.
Yeah.
And like I said, in order to be the best, you have to beat the best. And there's nobody that I know that really thinks like this song is not a great cover of a great song.
Yeah, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I agree. This might be my favorite cover. There's a couple other ones that we're gonna tap into. This is definitely top 3 for my favorite covers. Like you said, it's something about his vocal tone. Like, because you gotta understand, he's older than Mike was.
Yeah.
When he did it. And maybe he has more in his bag.
Well, remember, there was 3 vocalists, actually.
Right.
There was...
So let me, I just thought of something. So check this out, though. If they don't have a reference point of the Jackson 5, does it still sound the same? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the only thing. And we got to keep that in mind when we do this, who done it better. Like, would they have done the same thing without hearing? Because to me, the run's a little different at the end. I mean, real with you, I like his tone on a lot of records he's singing on. I'm talking about the guy at the end. What's his name? The one because he fell out with the group.
Well, they're back together now. I mean,
with him?
Yeah.
Okay.
The 4 of them are back together. Okay. Unfortunately, one
the other guys away.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to him.
But it started out with Steve,
right.
And then Alan was the second vocalist, and then in the bridge section it was John.
It is.
So you got like the
John,
2 tenors,
right.
And then you got the baritone in the middle, and then both of them at the end.
That's what makes it, because I think the tones slightly change in the Jackson's version. It's just Mike, correct?
No, it's Jermaine.
Jermaine's in there too?
Yeah.
Okay. Which, Jermaine back then didn't have a bad voice. But for some reason, I don't know if it's because I'm 4 to 5 years old when the Jackson version is out. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Be honest with you, when I first heard it, I didn't know it was a remake. Somebody played it for me and was like, yo, you know this? The radio station might have said it. And then I was like, oh, I remember the Jacksons, but I'm more late 70s Jacksons, Destiny, and right before that, I used to see them like on the Mickey Mouse Club, and I remember them being young, but they were like, by that time I saw them, they were probably just left Motown going to CBS, or they were on CBS, because they were, at that point, it went from Jackson 5, they couldn't use that name no more, to the Jacksons. Right. So, yeah, that's interesting. I would have to agree with you. One of my favorite covers. It might be my best. When we go through this and we bring this up, these different who did it betters, you know, a lot of stuff is going to surprise you. I would encourage you guys to close your eyes when we play these clips and just go into the moment, or even after you get, you finish watching this video, play the whole songs to yourself. Of course, we can't play the whole songs on YouTube, right. But you guys play the whole song and leave in the comments what you guys What's your opinion? Because we had this conversation with people before,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of back and forth, especially the dear. You talk to somebody over 55, you might get cursed out for even saying some shit like that. So, I'm just saying.
Real quick. The Jackson 5 was my very first concert. My grandmother took me to see them at the Civic Arena.
How old is this nigga?
I am as old as you. In fact, I'm 3 days younger than you, my nigga.
What
So,
the fuck?
yeah, but I loved
Okay.
Michael Jackson in the Jackson 5 ever since I was a kid. I had like
When you seen them, did you realize they were young? Obviously they weren't like your parents' age, but did you realize because I seeing them on TV, I realized they weren't my parents' stuff, but they weren't like, you know what I'm saying? They weren't.
I knew that they were
I knew
kids.
they were young, right? That's what I mean.
Yeah, I knew that they were
because like
kids.
Mike was growing up, but Randy was still shorter and was coming into that. And
Yeah, well, I saw him when Randy wasn't. I'm talking about I saw the original Jackson 5.
Right.
So, yeah, my grandmother took me to see him. That was my very first concert ever. I remember seeing
Okay.
him on Saturday morning cartoons.
So, I remember that.
I remember having their playing cards. I was like Jackson 5 the hell out.
Yeah, Right On magazine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, that's a real quick story. But yeah, for my vote, you already know it's true. Love the Jackson 5, but it's definitely true.
Yep. 2 for the win. 2 for the win, man.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, with that being said, man, we're going to be doing this on a regular. Like I said, we'll be going to who covered what song better. Just give you an example, like Marvin Gaye and
Samples.
well, like Marvin Gaye and Gladys Knight both did "Heard It Through the Grapevine," stuff like that.
And the Raisins.
And the raisins, right? California raisins, but stuff like that. And people who used the same sample before, or who who used it better, who flipped it better, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So with that being said, man, y'all know what it is. I'm Scorpio Moe,
I'm C.Boogie.
and this is the Run It Back Podcast. Get it, got it, going. You know.